fellow Toastmasters, guests / new members of Toastmasters. Yes, I have an addiction. So those people who know me very well know I have this addiction. And I thought I would share it with you today because I just want to show that sometimes, even though, yes, addictions can be very harmful and dangerous not only to the person but to others, but many times addictions can be fun, they can be bizarre, they can be weird, and it's okay to be quirky. So today I'm going to talk about how my addiction got started, how it manifests itself in my daily life, and what my poor husband / people around me, how they deal with my addiction. So I'm sure we're all wondering what my addiction is. So my addiction, my husband can't believe I'm doing it. My addiction is Seinfeld. So many people might think that this is an absolutely bizarre, weird addiction. I don't believe it is. Both my brother and I both suffer from the affliction. And is there anybody here possibly who has no idea what Seinfeld is? Do we all know what it is? So it is a TV show, sadly a TV show that's been off the air for about 12 years. A show about 4 friends who seemingly take ordinary situations and bring them over the top. They call it the show about nothing, but myself, I think it's the show about what we kind of all think about, but would never admit to. So the characters of the show are, of course, Jerry, Elaine, George, and my personal fave, Kramer. And the situations are relatable, but of course we never really would handle them like they do. So I absolutely love the show, and I can pretty much break into a Seinfeld quote at any time. And what this says about me, I'm not too sure. So we can go back to the beginning of when it started. And really, I didn't watch the TV show when it was on TV. My brother loved it. And what he would do is he would tape the show on VHS, watch it as he taped it, and pause the commercials. So we could have 4, 6, or 8 hours of Seinfeld on tape. I thought he was crazy. I'll admit, I thought he was a little bizarre, and he wasn't very good at pausing at the right time. So it was pretty choppy. So we had a cottage at the time. We don't have it anymore. But we had a TV and a VCR. No channels because we didn't get any reception. So when it was rainy or in the evenings when we wanted to watch something, it was either my father's old VHS movies or Seinfeld. And of course my brother, all he wanted to do was watch Seinfeld. So this is how, so it's his fault that I have become an addict. Because there were many times at the cottage where I needed to stay by myself. And alone in the woods wasn't my comfort level. So I would just kind of have it on in the background as noise. I started watching it. And I thought it was really kind of funny, and at least for those 4 hours, I wasn't kind of thinking about stuff that was bothering me at the time. So it kind of became my security blanket, crutch. I actually would fall asleep to it at the cottage, and I kind of used it as a comfort tool, along with maybe some ice cream. So the issue is, though, now, in order for me to fall asleep, and this is the addiction, I have to be listening to Seinfeld. So, pretty much for the last 10 years, I have been watching Seinfeld every night before going to bed. I know every episode. I know pretty much every line. And and I could break into a quote at any time. Serenity now. I have lost my keys in the parking lot. I have stupidly parked in a handicap spot. I have been privy to many conversations about shrinkage. Now, Seinfeld moments are extreme, but let's think about it. How would you react if your air conditioner fell out the window and hit a dog? The same dog that bit you 2 days earlier. How would you react to that? What about if you were a guy who sold ladies' glasses? How would you react? Or what if you had a chance to be a seat filler at the Tonys? How would you? These are all valid questions. Or what if you bought a car just because it belonged to a celebrity? Maybe John Boyd. I need to know the answers to these questions. So I think my addiction is harmless. Personally, you would want me on any trivia game you played. You would want me as your partner. I do own the Seen It version of Seinfeld, and I'm very competitive, so anytime anybody wants to play, I'm good to go. My poor husband, though. He's struggling. I've pushed it too far, too close to the sun. He used to like Seinfeld. He absolutely hates Seinfeld. And when he saw this come in the mail, he looked at me and he said, "Where are you putting that?" I said, "I don't know. I have to get a frame. It's got to be special." He says, he tells everyone that if there's a hell and if he goes there, the theme song is going to be playing when he walks in. But he loves me, so when he comes up to bed at night and he hears it, he just kind of, he hums and he just kind of comes in and he lets me do it, and he just knows that it's a habit, it's something that I love. But I think what's worse is that my children now watch it with me. They love it. So he says that I have created the new generation of addicts. They're 8, 13, and 15, and they can quote Seinfeld like that. So that being said, my speech was really just to say that even though addictions are harmful, sometimes really some of them can be just fun and quirky, and it's okay to be different and just embrace it, because I have.